Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 of my Gone Home playthrough. So before we start, let's do a quick recap. So in Gone Home, we are playing as a woman called Katie, we have a sister called Sam, and we have a mother called Jan and a father called Terry. We have come home from our travels. I think we're in this house for the first time actually, because our parents recently moved house and nobody is home. We had a letter on the door from Sam saying please don't try and find me, and we have no idea where our mum and dad are. So the idea of the game is to find out where everybody's gone, and you do that by finding objects around the house. So obviously this is part 2, so if you want to see what we discovered, then please go ahead and check out part 1. But in brief, we have found out that Sam is a little bit of a loner. We don't really know too much about Mum yet, other than she's a forester, I believe, and Dad is a quite clearly failing writer at the moment. He's doing reviews for VHSs and that kind of thing, and he is heavily drinking, it would seem. So that's in brief what we know at the moment. Let's now move on to part 2. So we're starting in the living room where we left off. We hadn't gone in this room yet, so let's do that. It's another closet. Let's see if we can find any clues here. And there is a story, and I believe that reads The Heaven at the Edge of the World. So this is a story from Sam in grade 2, and the story is The Turtle People, part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the black pirate ship. She yelled, "I thought we lost them at Horse Island." The first mate said, "Looks like you thought too soon." The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "You're never going to find the edge. There ain't no paradise and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, "Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile?" The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world and you'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. "Now west," she said, and the ship sailed towards the sunset. So it looks like Sam was doing some writing of her own as a young kid, and a very piratey, but the theme of her story is her father being a liar. Interesting. So let's continue on now down this corridor we didn't get to here before, and what have we got? A lovely painting. We've got a bunch of coupons, so someone's trying to save money, potentially. And what else have we got? A pamphlet for the US National Forestry Manual, so that is to do with Mum, I would say. Northwest Region Prescribed Burn Procedures and Precautions from the conscription department, so that is something to do with Mum's work. Nothing else there, I don't think, so let's now move on into this room. And whose room is this? It's like another library. Lummy neck, how many libraries have they got in this house? Oh, it's like a bar? Like a library bar? Let's have a look in the cabinet. Nothing as far as I can see. We've got some more books. Again, I'm trying to look at them very closely to see if there's anything hidden, and I can't see anything. Another picture. And again, it looks like a ship on fire. That's what I saw. An aeroplane, sorry, on fire. I don't think it is. That's what I saw out of that picture. Then we have Dave Brubeck Quartet. So music. Someone's into music. We did see some sheet music in the other room as well. There's some down there as well, I think. And what's in this folder? An assignment. Reproductive System Worksheet for Sam. So I'm not going to read through all of this, but Sam is clearly doing sex education at school. And we'll see if it went well or not. Again, I'm not going to read it all, so please feel free to pause if you would like to. If I read everything, it'll just take far too long. So let's move on to the second page and see what Sam's assignment actually is. I'll try and read this. So she's chosen to do a story, the menstrual cycle, a novella. The early morning of September the 1st, 1939. Essa Glatt stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Wieluń in Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. Essa's train approaches its destination. Her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Essa steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs. reaches out towards her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost immediately. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa and for a time Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind, his legs are missing, bandaged with torn bedsheets. Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. And clearly the teacher wasn't very happy with that because they've simply wrote, "See me." So we can deduce from that story that Sam is a little bit of a daydreamer. And we also have a book on world history right next to this. But the story was clearly not what the teacher wanted. They wanted a serious discussion about the menstrual cycle, and Sam said, absolutely not. You're having this story here. I didn't think it was a terrible story. So let's go ahead and play the record. We won't be playing it for long because, copyright.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd be through. Now that it's happened, I just can't believe it's true. I've done the best I could.
So I'm guessing it's Mum that's into her music, I could be wrong, and you will note the record that was playing about a relationship falling apart. We also have some vodka here, and a few drinks that I'm sure you would expect at a bar. This is the same type of whiskey that Dad seems to be hoarding in his office. So we have a letter here and Dad's second book. Let's read the letter. And this is dated March the 8th, 1976. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Saviour, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working as your publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavours. Sincerely, Donald Fripp. So Dad has unfortunately been dropped from his publisher, which would explain the drinking. So here is Dad's second book, The Accidental Pariah. It's a little bit dark, so we can't read the back of that, unfortunately. So perhaps the bar is also Dad's room, and it's Dad that's into the music. I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and move into this room now, another closet, and we'll see if there's anything in here that may give us a clue as to people's whereabouts. They have so many vinyls and so many copies of Dad's book that unfortunately never sold. So we have a letter here. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighbourhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with these games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house to visit any time. Sincerely, Mary.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
So Samantha has clearly used Danny a little bit there. We have more copies of Dad's book there because she didn't really want to see Danny, but she knows that the girl that she is trying to get friends with likes Street Fighter, so she has sort of used Danny in a way to get a copy of Street Fighter so she can perhaps impress the girl that she wants to be friends with. Not the best move, but I'm not going to judge. So some more coupons. Again, scattered about the house. We've got some dice. Let's see what we get. I don't know. Can't see it. Is a 1, a 4 and a 1? I don't think the dice are necessary for anything, but we're just having a bit of fun. And it looks like there's another letter here. A lip balm. And another letter. So let's go ahead and read this note. Katie, please tell Mum and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Sam. Right, okay, so there's some missing stuff. Okie dokie. I don't know why I keep grabbing the tissue boxes. Let's check the drawers. We've just got some highlighters in there. Nothing of note in here as far as I can see. No. Potentially, but I don't think so. So let's move on to the third drawer. And we have a note in there. Hi Lonnie, so if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Write back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6 p.m. Samantha. Yep, I am totally on. See you there. Then I'm going to kick your butt. Get ready.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
Right, so the pink-haired girl in the army uniform is called Lonnie. And we'll have to see what develops with that friendship. So we have a crumpled paper here which says, Katie, please, whatever you've found, don't tell Mum and Dad. The attic. Oh. So there's something in the attic. So we can't open this door at the moment either. So the only place that we can go now is upstairs. We've explored all of the downstairs that we possibly can. So let's head on upstairs. And I can't really figure out what's happening at the moment. Let's see if upstairs holds any clues. So I think we'll check this hallway first, or the landing. Again, nothing of note there. Another pack of cards. We have a newspaper clipping. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise above the northeastern region of Boone County over the better part of next week as part of a Forestry Service run controlled burn of overgrown sections of the Flintlock National Forest. Forestry crews have been preparing the area for months. The burn operation will take place between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly into Thursday, depending on speed of progress, according to the Forestry Service. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation that can lead to wildfires in drier months, the operation will serve as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved, said senior conservationist Janice Greenbrier. Smoke will likely linger in the area through the following weekend. So she's not a forester, as I said, she's a conservationist, and she's a senior conservationist. So she seems to be doing well in her job, which may be a bit of a bone of contention for Dad, who is not doing so well in his. That can definitely cause conflict. So we also have another painting on the wall there. And I was really scared because, again, I'm frightened that something's going to jump out at me. But what do we have over here? We have a comb and a personal calendar. Weekly planner. Let's see what's in here. So this looks like 4 weeks. So we have Monday couples bonding, we have Wednesday cookery class, take apron, and Friday ballroom dancing. And then on the next week we have the couples bonding, which has been crossed out, cookery class again on Wednesday, and on Friday ballroom dancing, which has also been crossed out. Then the third week we have Monday couples bonding, again crossed out, Wednesday cookery class, and Friday ballroom dancing, which has been crossed out. Finally, on to the newest week, we have cooking class on Wednesday, ballroom dancing on Friday, which has been crossed out, and it says cook the big meal for Terry and Sam. So this is Mum's planner, and we can deduce 2 things here. So ballroom dancing has been crossed off all 4 times, so they haven't managed to go and do that yet. And the couples bonding, it keeps getting crossed out as well. Also, she calls Dad Terry and not anything else. So we can potentially deduce that their marriage is not going well at this point. So let's see what else is in the drawer. We do have a form. So again, this is to do with Mum's work. Notice of temporary personnel transfer. Bruce Pendleton, Head of Personnel, State Forestry Service. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station at Flintlock National Forest, effective 9th of the 2nd, 94, so that would be 2nd of the 9th, right? Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer is at Flintlock Forestry Station, Senior Conservationist Janice Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of transferred personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as the recommendation of the overseeing officer. Signed, Bruce Pendleton. So Mum's getting people transferred to her to help her with the upcoming project. Still gives us no clues to their whereabouts, so let's continue on. And we are, of course, looking for that attic as well. We have another bookcase, and what's inside here? A cassette case. So this one is Bratmobile Potty Mouth. Oh, and it says for Sam. Okay, I'm trying to read this, but it's not that easy. What does it say? Ah, it's just a set list, it looks like. Okie dokie. So we need to find somewhere that we can play this cassette tape. So let's pop it back in here for now.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Do you know what? I think Sam might be, in fact, gay. I think she's got a thing for Lonnie. And I'm wondering if that didn't go down too well because the family seems to be a little bit religious. So maybe her being gay was a problem. Anyway, we have this note. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbrier, am 17 years old and am therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is frankly absurd. Compare with Katie, who is only 3 years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally soft city on my own like a human being. And since you may also remember that I have my own car, now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter Samantha. I think I said soft city instead of safe city there. So what else we got? Sam, stop leaving every damn light in the house on. You're as bad as your sister, is that what that said? And then Daniel called again. He wants his Nintendo game back. So this is Sam's room. And fingers crossed we get some answers here. That's just the smoke alarm. I think we'll be fine. I think I keep hearing noises and it's freaking me out. So we have a basketball on the back of the door, a basketball net. I don't know which way round to start. So we have a brochure here and it says, Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect for you. And then it's a teacher. So it's a pre-college program. And it's telling you about the creative writing and wanting her to get a scholarship. And again, I won't be reading all of this, so please feel free to pause if you would like to read it yourself. So did Sam get a scholarship or not? I'm not sure. Maybe that's where she is. I don't know. So there's nothing in the binder that we can see. Let's keep going. We have a sock on the floor and some spilt water, it looks like. Or 2 socks on the floor. Got some makeup, nail polish. And a lot of classic literature. Interesting. So Sam is into her classic literature. Maybe following in her father's footsteps, perhaps. And we have a badge called Misfits. The Misfits there. Sam's got quite a few of these badges. We also have a banner as a pennant, or tenant, I can't remember what you call them, for her school, presumably. We can't open the desk. We have got a hairbrush. And these tissue boxes are just everywhere. So let's continue on. I think I was just double checking if there was anything else at the desk. We have a Pacific, Millais, an art exhibition there. We have a crumpled note, and a soda can. So what does the crumpled note say? Goodfellow High School disciplinary, oh dear. And it's for Yolanda De Soto, who I'm assuming is Lonnie. Lonnie. And it says, Mr. Benchley observed Mr. Soto wearing a t-shirt with an unacceptable logo on the front. An unacceptable image on the front, sorry. A large beer can labelled Fast Blue Ribbon. Mr. Soto was sent to the guidance counsellor's office. Mr. Soto was given the option to turn her shirt inside out, change into a shirt from her gym locker, or be suspended for the rest of the day. Mr. Soto chose suspension. Her father was called, but there was no answer, and no answering machine. Mr. Soto must return this form tomorrow, signed by her father. So I feel like there is a student signature, but no parent signature. So it's just been thrown in the bin. Maybe they would have forged the parent signature. We all did it. So I'm guessing maybe Sam's parents won't approve of Lonnie because she's getting into trouble. She seems a little bit rebellious. Oh, we have a letter under the pillow here. And what does this say? Hi Lonnie, I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It is what all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages on their beepers, but we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper. Your drawing of cats was so good that I added a background to make it even better. Maybe I should just stick to writing though. Haha, I like it. How did you know that they were about to be attacked by aliens? I'm looking at Mr. Fish right now. I feel like he would probably have lots of cats. Also, like, his secret shame is he watches 90210 religiously. I'll ask him about it after class. He said he doesn't have cats, and also that he's never watched 90210, but I could see in his eyes he was lying. I do apologise, there are so many notes and things in this game as well, so sorry that we're doing a lot of reading. So let's move on now. So we have a cassette player here. We also have another 3-ring binder. So we may have to go back and get that other cassette. So we have one here. And again, I'm not going to play the cassettes for too long because, you know, copyright.
We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool, cool. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck.
So it seems like Lonnie's in a band, or Lonnie and Sam are in a band maybe. We did find a cartridge there, and there's also a note, Chun-Li moves. So this is cheat codes for the PlayStation. Well, it's not the PlayStation, is it? It's, I don't know what console it would be. Maybe the NES. So we do need to go back and get that other tape. We have these pictures as well. They're like the illusions, aren't they? And what else do we have in here? We have more cartridges. This would be the NES, right? I'm not sure. The Street Fighter cartridge will be somewhere in the room, I would hazard a guess. Maybe it's somewhere else. But again, we do need to go and get that other tape. But I think a lot of the tapes are just singing. So we can go through that door. Do we want to? No. We do have a locker here. And you can see there's lots of pictures of women on there with different things. They're celebrities of the time. And I think this lends credence to the fact that Sam may be, in fact, gay. I want to believe with aliens. So the conspiracy theory stuff has definitely leaked in from her father, as has the creative writing. We have a door here as well, but we are still going around the room. We have a pirate flag, so she never really got over pirates. And we have a magazine. We've just took a lip gloss there by accident. Let's see what the magazine is. Groove, Exclusive, AIDS in Africa, Solar Addendum Live, Eddie Vedder, Weezer. Ah, so we have a music magazine there. And another one here about Kurt Cobain. So she's very much into her music, her alternative music. We have a pillow that we can grab, and we have a teddy. So I'm guessing this is Sam's favourite turtle teddy, Steggy. And you will remember she did a story about turtles and pirates as well. Steggy. I still have my childhood teddy as well. So there's some things that she hasn't taken out of the boxes yet because they have not long moved in. So what do we have here? A brochure for a bike. And it says, this is the one me and my dad are building. So that would be Lonnie, maybe? I want to go for a ride when it's done. So Lonnie's building a bike with her dad, perhaps? We have a pen hidden under there. Anything else? Another note, it looks like. A slip for Samantha Greenbrier, and it's a slip from school. And it's metalworking, and it says, not a challenging assignment, metal plaque for family portrait. Oh, we saw that downstairs. Reasonable subject, but not complex. When I said that mum and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Ah. And the last bit said, acceptable levelling on edges, show more pride in work. So we did actually see that. So we're now moving on into the hallway, but I think we'd like to go into that other room first, right? So there's 2 entrances to Sam's bedroom. But there's also a note here. Let's read this note. Hey Sam, do you want to see Pulp Fiction after school at the Coliseum? It came out last weekend and Todd won't shut up about it. So either it's good or we can make fun of him by liking it. Sorry, for liking it, not by liking it. And Sam says, my mum is supposed to cook dinner for us tonight for a change, but I can just ditch out on it probably. What time? Also, isn't that movie supposed to be really violent? Am I going to Bath? And Lonnie says, according to Todd, it is pretty hardcore. I guess Uma Thurman gets stabbed in the heart with a heroin needle, so that's kind of hilarious. Also, something about cheeseburgers is important. Todd wants to do it again. This okay? Don't barf. Oh, 7:15 okay, don't barf. As you put, alright, see you then. And we did actually find that ticket downstairs in the living room for Pulp Fiction, so now we know whose that was. So let's now circle back and head into Sam's closet. We also do still have that other tape to play. So in we go. And let's see if there's anything important in here. So we have a board game, and this has got your number. I think we saw another board game downstairs, so maybe they're a board game family. Maybe they were a board game family. We've got, we have something in the cupboard. A chapter. The King's Labyrinth, Chapter 2, Fraying Threads. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cavern of the labyrinth. She and the first mate, on their own now, grew closer to their goal, the throne room of the dead immortal king of the island. The first mate slid down the line onto the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. The silken thread, nigh unbreakable thanks to the enchanted moths that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, a moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer. It turned into words from some ancient language they could not understand. The king's cursed voice. The hairs on Captain Allegra's arms stood on end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked on the blackness of the passage for a moment too long, before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. Following the king's ghostly song deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, they came upon a rocky gap spilling forth otherworldly blue light. The great basin of the dead king's throne room lay below. Skeletal in rotted robes, the king was hunched over the blue orb topping his royal sceptre. Shadows of his bony fingers danced on the walls like ghouls. As he sang, wailing souls flowed in one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, poured into the orb, causing it to glow brighter and brighter. Behind the king, a long staircase hewn from rock led down into the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, we have the advantage in numbers. I will draw his attention and then you. But the first mate interrupted. No, I am smaller and quicker, and you know of dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side, get the king's attention, and lead him on a merry chase. She held up the silk line. All traced by this invincible thread, of course. Allegra said, it is a good plan, but perhaps we should go together. The first mate shook her head. You know this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me. They grasped hands and exchanged 3 right squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, giving a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly across at the top of the stairs, where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his, wait, no, no. The singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. She tried tugging on the line to signal her. No use. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop. Even from across the yawning basin, Allegra could see the first mate's eyes grow wide. She turned and ran. Summoning his undead power, the king left the ground, levitating, gliding behind her with distressing speed. From some dank passage much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate's screams. She was already running toward the sound. The line in Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. As Allegra ran, she was gathering line, twisting it around her arm. She came to its end. The unbreakable thread dangled limply. Its end shredded and frayed in her hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. So we saw in the story downstairs that Sam had always been writing about Captain Allegra, and I wonder if that was her way of showing her how she really felt, sort of thing, because the first mate and Captain Allegra seem to be in love with each other. And of course they're both women. So that's one of Sam's drawings, paintings. We've got a book here, the Bible, underneath one of Sam's paintings. And then we also have a collar, mitten. So we have a cat somewhere. Where the heck's the cat? Oh my goodness. And then we have a plaque that Samantha has clearly outgrown. But I feel like we all had a door plaque like this at one point. How cute. So Samantha is quite sentimental, I would say, a bit like me. She doesn't like to get rid of anything. And I am exactly the same. So with that, let's head out of Samantha's room for now. Or maybe we're going to go and get that other tape. Are we going to get the tape? No, we're not. So let's head out into the hallway. There's nothing on this table here. More paintings. So I think someone in this house may be a painter because there's so many paintings. Or they just appreciate art. And where should we go to next? Well, we've been in there. We've checked that note. There's nothing on here. So let's head into this room to our left, maybe. And we have a bathroom. So, of course, we're going to turn the taps on and flush the toilet for absolutely no reason. Of course we're doing that. And I can't see there being too many clues in the bathroom. We have some toothpaste and some more plasters. Standard stuff, a nail polish. More standard stuff on the cabinet there. And again, more stuff. We have an emery board. I think they're tampons. Yes, they look like tampons to me. Yeah, there we go. We have toilet paper. I don't think there'll be any clues on the tampon. I think we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and flush the toilet for no reason other than because I can. Another painting. There's some more random stuff. And oh my god, this scared the living heck out of me because I thought it was blood all over the bath. And I thought, where has this come from? Someone's died. It is not blood all over the bath, luckily. So we have a broken cupboard door there. So it is not blood. It is hair dye. Thank goodness for that. And yes, I've made my bathroom look like that on many an occasion with red hair dye.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, I need to fix these roots. Think you could help? Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. It's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited. And the moment was gone.
Oh my goodness. So it looks like Lonnie is reciprocating Sam's feelings. And I think they're falling for each other. Oh my goodness. How adorable though. The fact that Sam's not here, neither of the parents, I mean, something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. So I think now we're going to head into this room. And this looks to be, let's have a look. I think this is the parents' room. Yes, so we are in the parents' bedroom. So we might find out some more clues about them. So we have Mum's purse here. And she's gone away without her purse. Which is never a good sign. We've got lots of boxes. Obviously things have not been opened just yet. We have an Earth, Wind and Fire poster. We have a postcard. This is London and this is from Katie. And it reads, Dear Mum, Dad and Sam, I am in the Channel. This is my second passage through the Channel. I am on my way back from London, this time going to Brussels, Belgium. Sorry I didn't write you on the way to London, but I was too excited about the Channel. London was great, Dad. I know you've always wanted to visit, and I think you really should. You'd love it. If you all wanted to come back here as a family sometime, I guess I could be convinced. Love you all, Katie. And again, I do apologise for how much reading there is in this playthrough. Hopefully you are enjoying it. I know it's a little bit slower paced than some other playthroughs. I am absolutely loving it. but I know it's quite slow paced. So we have a business card here for Unknown Dimension Literature. Kaz Publisher, so that's a new publisher, perhaps that Dad was looking at, and we also have the Holy Bible in the drawer. So perhaps it's Dad that's religious, because this seems to be Dad's side of the bed. There's a men's shirt there, or what looks like a men's shirt, so I think this is Dad's side of the bed. And he's the one with the Bible in his drawer. So now we're just going to look through all of these drawers, and it feels weird because we're going through Mum and Dad's personal possessions. But we need to figure out what happened to them, so we're going to have to do this, whether we want to or not. And, oh dear, a condom. That's not what you want to find in your Mum and Dad's drawer, is it? But guess what? Mum and Dad's are the same as everybody else. And it's not been used, so it seems that they are not perhaps being intimate or as intimate as they once were. This is fancy, look. We have a TV in a cabinet. How fancy's that? And a lot more VHSs. But surprisingly, again, the VHS tape is missing. And I don't know why. Where have the VHS tapes, the VHS players gone? Now, if you can hear that background noise, that is, as usual, my bunny rabbit. And please excuse the sound of my voice. My throat is absolutely killing me with all of the talking for these. So this is quite a short game, but this playthrough takes around 4 hours to edit. Yeah. So there's Mitten again, the cat. What has happened to the cat? Where's the cat? Is the cat alive? Where's the cat? Forget Mum, Dad and Sam. Where's Mitten? So we have some washing there. Obviously, I don't think Katie wants to go through all of this, but she is trying to figure out where Mum and Dad is. So we have 2 doors that we can go through, but we're not quite finished in the main bedroom yet. So this is Mum's side of the bed, I would say. And we have a bookmark here. And this is for the Timberline booksellers. Okie dokie. And it says, "Take your time. I'm glad to have it in good hands. Rick." So Rick has given Mum this book. What's the book? Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, and it's a collection of poems. Oh, okay. So someone called Rick has lent Mum a poem book. Righto. Nothing in that binder, I would say. Anything else on Mum's side? Not that I can see at the moment. Hey, is Mum having an affair? So we found a letter, and it reads, "Dear Jan, oh honey, let me tell you, I understand how you feel. Bob and I have had our down periods. It's become a bit of a way of life, actually. You get used to each other. You live your own lives in the same house. The kids grow up, they go away. I'm sorry, this isn't helping. Is it? Don't worry. Terry will get over whatever's distracting him. Things will go back to normal. And as for Sam being distant, that's a teenager for you. Nothing for you to worry about. In the meantime, though, this controlled burn, that sounds like quite the adventure. But let's cut to the chase. This new ranger they sent, that's what I want to hear about. Ranger Rick, you have to be kidding me. It's too perfect. You have to tell me everything and send pictures. I want the whole package. Wait, that sounded wrong. Keep your chin up until Terry is out of his slump. And in the meantime, write more letters to your old friend Carol. She adores them. Love, Carol." So we know something's distracting Terry. Is Mum having an affair with the new ranger? There we all are as a family. She does still have a picture of us on her bedside table, which means she does want the marriage to work, typically. So now let's head into the closet. I don't know why we turned the light off. And we have another board game up here. A ghost game, Escape from Ghost Mansion. That's the 3rd sort of board game we've found in the house. Some clothes, nothing unusual, I don't think. And we have a book here. Watercolour technique for florals. I knew it! I knew someone was a painter. I think Mum's a painter on the side. I blooming knew it. I said there was too many paintings in this house for someone not to be a painter. Now let's see if there's anything else in this closet. Not that I can see at the moment, but it's highly likely that I may have missed something. And these drawers look like they've been ransacked as well, which is quite scary. So yes, this is a bathroom. Let's see if there's any clues in the bathroom. What a massive bathroom. I'd die for this bathroom. Look at this. And again, we're going to turn the taps on for no reason. But if you are aiming to get the 100% on a PlayStation 5, I said this in the last episode, then turning the taps on is not a bad idea and keeping them on. So we can't open these cabinets here. So let's now move on to the other portion of the bathroom. Nothing unusual yet, not really. Candles, towels, toilet roll, the typical stuff you'd expect to see in a bathroom. We've got a bath, and who's brought a book into the bathroom? I beg your pardon. Who's done this? And what is it? After the honeymoon, rediscovering your spouse personally, spiritually, and sexually. So I'm guessing that both mum and dad are religious because mum is trying to get advice from a spiritual book. And you can read the back of that if you would like to. But this is from a reverend. And so she seems to be wanting to, I don't know what the right word is, take advice from the reverend, I guess. Whether it's her reverend or not, we don't know. Or their reverend. But I do think there's a religious element going on here. So with that, we are going to leave the bedroom for now. I don't know if we'll be going back in. We do still, of course, have to play that cassette if we don't forget. We've got a door here with a note underneath. And oh my god, it's terrifying that. That's the attic and it looks pretty scary. Now, did I miss that note? I think I did. Oh no, I needed to read that note. This looks to be the spare room that maybe Katie would have been staying in. We've got some of Mum's paintings, a lot of books that haven't been unboxed yet. A very bookish family, I approve. They haven't even got the bed set up for Katie yet. But this is a lot of Katie's stuff as well. We've got a note here. Hey Sam. And this seems to be Lonnie talking about her ribbons. So she has a ribbon for orienteering, rifle team and adventure training. So I'm guessing this is like maybe pre-army stuff? I don't know, because obviously she was in like an army jacket. I have no idea. So let's continue looking round. And again, if you can hear any background noise, that is still my bunny rabbit. We have Sam's composition book here, Giant Hunter Journal. Ah, this is for ghost hunting. We did see a book on ghost hunting downstairs. And it reads, a tall shadow in the upstairs hall. When I rounded the corner, no one was there. How tall was Uncle Oscar? Note, I was not wearing my glasses. Then we have another entry. A faint voice coming from the bottom of the stairs. I said hello, did not investigate. Probably was the furnace. Then we have a third entry. Poured milk from carton in fridge. It was spoiled. Pretty sure I read that spirits can sour milk. Well, it was just, milk was just bought yesterday. Oh, okay. And then we have another page. Lonnie says she feels a presence in the TV room. I suddenly begin to feel cold. We build a protective pillow fort. Yeah, we've seen that. Lonnie and I employ Ouija board as a medium. Okay. Disturbing messages are conveyed from the other side. Oscar is definitely here. And I'm really struggling with this writing. Enlisted Lonnie to stay up all night and help patrol premises, reporting any signs of otherworldly presence. Lonnie reported many sightings, but all remained unconfirmed. Possible ectoplasm in attic? Probably a leaky roof. Sample taken just in case. Despite our best efforts, we fall asleep around 4 a.m. All in all, a successful night. Right, so Lonnie and Sam think that the house is haunted by Oscar. Right, we have another cupboard here. And it better bloody not be haunted, because you know how scared I get. So this is all of Katie's things, again, that haven't been opened yet. So nothing else I can see here. We have some more bookcases. And do I get to this note? Yes. And the note says, Katie, Mum and Dad were going to make up the guest room for you to stay in over the summer, but you came home on such short notice that they weren't around to do it. You can use my room if you want. I won't be needing it anymore. Sam. Interesting. Oh, and then we have the attic over here and another room, but I think this is where we're going to leave it for this episode. So the plot certainly has thickened. I know that it is a little bit boring with a lot of writing, or a lot of reading. So thank you very much for watching, and I have a feeling the next part is going to pick up quite a lot. So until then, bye Embers.